Hi everyone, it's RAXX. I just got done blasting day one of the Season 25 PTR, and I want to tell you all about it and all of the things that we found out. So I think the best way to start is just to demonstrate from the beginning rather than showing you all the final conclusions, because I think that will be important this time. All right, so as you're walking around in the world, you will find these soul shards. There are 7 of them in total. There are 3 that go into your helmet and 4 that go into your weapon. So you get 1 into your helmet, 1 into your weapon, and they give you powers. So let's say I found one in the wild. Boom. Here's a fresh one. The Remnant of Pain can be socketed into weapons. Your critical hit chance is reduced by 15%, meaning it's a debuff to you. It makes you weaker. But attacks against incapacitated enemies are automatically critical hits. So if you have a build that freezes all the time, or stuns, or whatever an incapacitate means, we'll test it. It will be a huge buff to you. Now you'll see that more things unlock at rank 1, rank 2, and rank 3. What you will do is you will find these Hellforge embers throughout the world. And when you find them, you can use them to upgrade the different soul shards that you find. Every one is going to upgrade it 1 rank. So if I use 1, it'll unlock rank 1. If I use 2, we'll get rank 2. And if I use 3, it'll be fully unlocked. Now, before I show you what that does, there's something very easy to understand about these legendary soul shards. The first rank will give you the powers of regular gems in that slot. So let's think about this. For weapons, when I put a ruby into a weapon, I get 270 damage. With an amethyst, with a topaz, I get thorns. With an emerald, I get crit damage. With a diamond, I get elite damage. And with an amethyst, I get life on hit. So when I activate this rank 1, it's going to give me all 5 of those bonuses. There's a little bit of a range to them. So you will always get at least this value, but you can actually get even slightly higher values. So already, at rank 1, this shard is way better than what you're normally getting, because it's automatically going to give you probably the crit hit, the crit hit damage one you're using, the emerald. It's going to give you a little bit of a higher value, and it's going to give you the other 4 automatically. So here we go. That's what happens at rank 1 for both weapons and helmets. Helmet gems. Let me get a helmet gem just to demonstrate this real quick. Let me demonstrate them side by side. I think that would be best. And if you're wondering how that, by the way, look at how cool they look when they drop. If you're wondering how in the hell are you getting all this stuff? This vendor only exists on the PTR, and he makes finding stuff really easy so you can test things. So if you're wondering, Rax, how the hell did you just do that? It's a PTR only feature. So these things, these little Hellforge embers stack up to 100. Let's throw all these in the stash. So I'm going to use this weapon one as an example, and I'm going to need any helmet one as an example. All right, I'm going to salvage the rest. Don't worry, I'll show you them all. I'll show you them all just for demonstration purposes. By the way, when you salvage them, you get gems. So that's nice. Let's get rid of all this other stuff. And now we can demonstrate it. All right, so remember, when we do the weapon one, we're supposed to get damage, thorns, crit damage, elite damage, and life on hit. Here we go. Boom. There we go. Damage, crit hit damage, elite damage, life on hit, thorns. There it is, okay? Now you can see that the values can be slightly higher. The ruby gives you 270 damage. I got 293. That's better. 130, 146. You get it. Okay. Helmet is the exact same thing. It has a power. You identify it or you upgrade it to rank 1, and it's going to give you all of these things as if you put it in a helmet. The XP, the resource cost reduction, the gold, the cooldown, and the life, and it can be slightly higher. Same thing. Here we go. Boom. The life, the cooldown. That's what rank 1 is. Rank 1 gives you every single gem for the regular gems. Now, the second rank for each of them gives you a specific power, and it's random. So for weapons, you're either going to get attack speed or percent damage, up to 50% increased damage, or elemental damage. There's 7 different element types, up to 75, or 10 crit, up to 10 crit. Helmets will get up to like 1,125 main stat, or 750 all resist, which we're wondering if this is a bug, if they meant this, if this was too high. We'll have to see. Or you'll get armor or melee damage or range damage. So level 1 is all the regular gems. Level 2 is an additional random power. Let's just see what we get here. On our weapon, we got the 17, excuse me, this is the helm. We got 17% reduced damage from melee. That's one of the things that you can get. And on this one, we got holy damage increased by 72%. Okay, it's pretty good. First level, all the gems. Second level, a random buff. Now, the third time that you upgrade it, you are going to get an additional legendary power. Excuse me. You're going to get an additional legendary power that ties in with your legendary gem. So for example, here, the original legendary power, you can move through enemies. Every enemy you pass through is marked for destruction. Marked enemies that die reduce the cooldown of your skills. If they expire, it deals damage to you. The third level is going to be another legendary power that coincides with that power. So it's going to make it better. So this is it's going to mark enemies for death, and then it gives you cooldown reduction. So let's see what happens. Boom. Now we leave a trail of fire whenever we move. If anything has the mark on it and they're 10% or lower, they die. It gives you an execute for your build. At level 3, there are 3 possible powers for every single gem. So it's not always guaranteed the extra power you will get for your legendary gem. Here, our power is reduce our critical strike chance, but we deal always crit against incapacitated enemies. Boom. Get level 3. Now we move 50% faster, and when we move through enemies, we knock them back and stun them. It applies the incapacitate, it gives us movement speed, and it helps us apply our guaranteed crit. So remember, I said at level 3, every single gem has 3 possible powers. So let's look at some of them. So for the blue one, we deal 15% reduced damage if we have 3 or fewer enemies within 25 yards. But if you have more than 3 enemies, you deal more damage up to 100%. The level 3 bonus of that is killing an enemy pulls all enemies within 40 yards to where the elite died. A different third tier power is you now deal 15% instead of 10, so now it goes to 150. And this looks like the third one, which is your movement speed is increased. Each enemy within 25 yards reduces your movement speed up to 70%. So you move faster. Okay? So every single gem here has got those dual powers. Cooldowns are increased. For every skill on cooldown, you take 12.5% reduced damage and you deal 75% increased damage. This seems like the strongest gem. there's so many builds that rely on a ton of cooldowns. Take this build, for example. I can have my Soul Harvest on cooldown, and my Big Bad Voodoo, and my Spirit Walk can be on cooldown, and my Pironado can be on cooldown. So, if we read it again, our cooldowns are increased, so our cooldowns are longer. That's a debuff to us, but every skill that's on cooldown, we take less damage and we deal way more damage. So that's insane. So I'm wondering if this gem might be nerfed, but this is a huge buff. And the other thing is you cast a devastating Ring of Fire after killing 50 enemies. Your attack speed and critical hit chance are increased by 7% for each skill on cooldown. That's insane, even more power. If 3 or more skills are on cooldown, your lightning and fire skill damage are increased by 50%. Oh my god. Can you imagine the Ina Mystic Ally Fire Monk with this gem, with those 2 powers? Oh my god. So the power level increase, if you look at the weapon slots and the helmet slots and put it together, it's hard to say. There are so many crazy combinations you can come up with. But it looks like it's going to give you like at least 10 tiers of power. You are going to feel way more powerful using these. And it might open it up to like different build variants. You know, some of them allow you to reach astronomical cooldown reduction levels. So does that open up a build like the Corpse Explosion Necro, which is already like an S tier build? But the only thing that ever holds Corpse Explosion back is the fact that you can't cast your Land of the Dead as often as you'd like to keep blowing up the corpses. There may be some combination here where you can just pump your cooldown to insane levels and then just detonate the rift. So, quick little overview of the other ones. This was the Mark of Destruction one. You have a 25% chance to restore 5% health when an enemy dies with Mark of Destruction. That seems very underpowered. No one will use that. The Execute is good. Not sure if it's the best option. What's the other one? I guess we haven't. Have we unlocked the other one? I need to keep upgrading these gems to see what the third one is. This one, each enemy elite slain with the damage reduction effect from this also reduces all of your active cooldowns. Another way just to reset your cooldowns. And reduces the damage of enemies hit by 33% for 5 seconds, and you deal 50% less damage. This is a support gem. So they made a support gem for weapons. So the supporter is going to be able to keep you alive. So this looks like exactly the same, exactly the same, exactly the same. Did I literally make all the same ones? Wow, I need to make more of these and see more of the diversity there. This is the one with that we looked at the beginning, where the incapacitated enemies, you're always guaranteed to crit. When you critically hit an enemy, you increase the attack speed of all players by 5%. So this might be, again, another great support gem. Enemies hit with cold damage have a 50% chance to freeze them. Cold skilled damage to frozen enemies is increased by 20%, and you're guaranteed to crit them. Imagine if you gave this to a Necromancer. A Necromancer who maybe like, I'm thinking like a Corpse Lance Necromancer that does Brittle Touch, Cold Rune. Well, you're freezing them, which is guaranteeing your critting, and it applies your crit has been sentenced, and you deal more damage to them. And if you have massive cooldown, you can cast Corpse Lance all the time. Might be an insane build. You can kind of see the wheels turning as to what the possibilities might be. Taking a look here. Movement speed is 50% faster. You move through enemies and knock them back and stun them so you can crit them. Makes sense. Stain of Sin. This one is really cool, man. This one's really cool. It's I gotta show this one to you. Yeah, we're gonna demonstrate this one in a second. Which one is this? Is this helmet? This is weapon. I gotta show you this one. Because this summons the Asmodan pool, and it just makes this huge pool of death. You deal less damage. When you kill an elite, you spawn a pool of blood that increases the damage that non-elites take by 250% for 7 seconds. And the pool of blood now freezes non-elite monsters. What are some of the other powers? The pool of blood now negates elite affixes within its area. Imagine if it could negate Juggernaut or Waller, my least favorite. I'll show this one to you in a second. And the Essence of Anguish. Every time you deal poison damage to an enemy, you increase your cooldown reduction, movement speed, and damage received by 5%. This is what I was using in the new Witch Doctor build, which I'll show you here in a second, because we're doing poison damage. Your movement speed and cooldown can be increased up to 15 times by dealing poison damage. So you can just zip along. Killing an enemy deals damage done by the death blow to all enemies within 25 yards. Got to show you something about that in a second. And that's about it. So there's an overview of the first draft of these legendary powers. Now, I want to show you something real quick. Let's look at this one. Killing an enemy deals the damage done by the death blow to all enemies within 25 yards. So we were playing earlier, and I don't know who thought of it first. I think it was North War. It was either North War, Rob, or Woody. That's who I was playing with. I think North War read that, and he had an idea. He goes, I wonder if we could do something crazy with this particular gem power. There is a legendary power in the game called Sever. And the legendary power of Sever, if you read it, it says, slain monsters rest in peace. I believe that's what it says. But if you've ever used a Sever before, it's kind of hilarious. When you kill a monster, it hits them for like 10 quintillion damage, right? So North War had an idea. He goes, it deals the damage done by the death blow to all enemies within 25 yards. I wonder if that works with Sever. I wonder if we could kill one enemy, and if we could do 15 quintillion damage to everything around it and just beat the game instantly. Well, checking the leaderboards here, we go to 4-player. When we cleared 150, we were 28 tiers ahead of second place. And it's all because North War had this gem, killing an enemy deals damage done by the killing blow, with a Sever. Slain enemies rest in pieces. We would kill one monster, and then everything would blow up instantly. Now, of course, Blizzard will not allow this to go into the seasonal theme. I'll attach the clear at the end of this video so you can see it. But that's how we did it. It's an whatever you want to call it. It's an exploit. It's an unintended game mechanic. But we just blitz through the entire game effortlessly. That's what the PTR is for. We're supposed to break it. We're supposed to say, hey, if this goes live, it'll ruin the game. Just to show you some of the crazy combinations. Oh, you want to give us the damage of our killing blow to everything around us? Okay, we'll just set everything for 15 quintillion. We'd pull everything in the 150. We'd have North War kill a rat. Just kill one rat. Boom. The whole room dies. I'll put the clear at the end of the video. So that's what we did. We climbed to 150. So now you're probably wondering, okay, so the shards are really cool. They're pretty dynamic. Now you understand how they upgrade and the different combinations that you have. What about the changes? Well, the new builds are the Witch Doctor, which I have fully built. It's right here. And the Marauder DH that's laying the sentries. So let's start with the Marauder DH. In general, people are really enjoying it. That build is a lot closer to being polished and ready to release than I feel the Witch Doctor build is. People are liking it. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. Woody was playing it. It seems pretty good, right? This Spider Queen build, I have it made, and there is kind of bad news for the build itself, but there's good news for Witch Doctors. So let's start with the good news for Witch Doctors. Right now, this build is not great, as I'll demonstrate it here in a second. But Witch Doctor's got two very nice items which can be used across many of their builds. The Lacumba's Ornament, which is going to reduce your damage taken, and if your Soul Harvest stack is at least 1, which it always should be, you get more damage reduction for each stack. This is going to help you survive a lot. Every build, almost every Witch Doctor build can use it. It's fantastic. Good news for the Witch Doctor class. Also, this Offhand, same story. Very powerful for almost every build. Almost every build can use it. Spirit Walk lasts until you attack 3 times, or until you find a close elite. And attacks while you're in the Spirit Realm make you deal more damage. Super powerful item, usable across a lot of the other builds. So I really do think builds like the Spirit Barrage Witch Doctor, maybe even the Zuni Dagger of Darts Witch Doctor, can be quite powerful now, if they can incorporate some of these new universal items for the Witch Doctor class. So in that respect, so far, the patch is a win for the Witch Doctor. This particular build, I will leave feedback on. It's very underpowered. That's fine. You can always just give it more power. You can always add a 0 at the end, and that's fine. We need like a 0 at least or something. My problem is with the playstyle. So let me show you the build here. So essentially, it's very clunky. So I run in, I get my Soul Harvest stacks, I cast my Big Bad Voodoo. You cast your Pestilence and get everything nice and poisoned. You can group them up with Tornadoes, and then you just throw these spiders. And these spiders will eventually kill the monsters, you know? I'm in T16, I got no problem. I can clear this just fine. Let me show you the spiders on their own, though. What happens if I just stand here? First of all, what if I just stand here with my big spider? The set bonus, the big-ass spider. What will the big spider do against this elite? Just watch this spider. If I can survive just standing here, just dicking around. Where is my big spider even? Anyway, spoiler alert, if you can't see it, I don't even know where my spider is anymore. The spider doesn't do anything. They literally don't deal damage. So my first very head scratcher moment is my giant ass spider doesn't actually deal damage. It doesn't do anything. Okay. The next thing is the little spiders here. I'm going to die if I just keep dicking around here. So let me try at least to live here for a second. Let me try to live here. Should be okay. And let me show you my problem with the little spiders. All right, so we're okay now. Let's say I just throw one jar randomly. What happens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're dead. So essentially, I'm running around perpetually throwing these little jars of spiders, trying to get up as many of them as I can, and they just die off very quickly. Another thing is they're laying webs everywhere, and as long as you're standing in the webs, you get more toughness. And this is very easy to do while you're not in combat. You see how the spider just lays webs everywhere and he just follows me when there's no one around? That's great. But watch what happens when I get in combat. When I get in combat and he's fighting there and I'm throwing my spiders, I'm trying to keep my distance, usually the spiders stay right where they're attacking. Now, this is a bad example because they're dying instantly. I need more monsters. But what ends up happening is sometimes you're actually not in a web. Trying to get away, trying to get away. See how there's no web under me here when I'm getting to a big fight? And you have to go in. And that doesn't seem like the right play style for a ranged spider build. Another thing is so I compare this build to maybe this is an unfair comparison, but if you're going to give me a new build, I want to compare it to some of the stronger builds in the game, like the God DH, for example, or even the Munda Nugu Spirit Barrage Witch Doctor. With some of the new items, if I put on Manitou, the little sprinkler above my head, and I run around, I will just crush everything. I'll just destroy it. By the way, look at that Asmodan pool. How cool is that? Okay, now that's pretty freaking cool. You got to admit that. That's what I wanted to show you. But yeah, when I compare it to the God DH or the Spirit Barrage, I mean, look at me in T16. I mean, I literally have to trod my way through here. I throw some spiders. I Pestilence. I throw some spiders. I Spirit Walk, so I deal more damage. Got my cool Asmodan pool. I like that. God DH would have spun right by and just one-shot it instantly and moved on. So this whole stop and go mentality, try to stand on the spider webs, big spider doesn't do anything. Even if they added a 0 or 2 to this damage, I don't know. Witch Doctor players out there, does this excite you? Am I off here? Or is this going to be exciting to you to throw these spiders? So one thing, you know, here's my fear. When Blizzard releases this set into the wild, into Season 25, I don't think they're going to go back and look at it for a while. Like, not in terms of the actual core design of the build. I don't think that's going to change. So I would like something that is going to make this build, I don't know, a little bit more fun, a little bit less clunky. So, you know, I'll be honest with you. I've been thinking about it for hours. I haven't thought of something like amazing, but let me tell you the generic idea of what I would like to see. First of all, I would like to see some kind of sustained damage. If I stop throwing spiders and I move, my big spider does no damage and my little spiders die instantly. When I've moved, I have no damage here until I Pestilence, spider, spider, spider. And now I'm starting to deal some damage, right? It's just way too slow compared to Patterns of Justice, compared to Whirlwind, compared to Spirit Barrage. It's just too slow. So I need a way, maybe the little spiders stay up all the time. Maybe the big spider actually plays a much bigger role and they're always with me. And maybe he just dominates at low tiers. He just crushes for you. That would be cool. Another thing that I think is very important to Blizzard is they are very big on fantasy. When you're playing a witch doctor, they want you to feel like you're playing a witch doctor. When you're playing a barbarian, you feel like you're playing a barbarian. So when I think about that, this is the spider build, right? This is the spider build. We do have the webs, and that's good. I would like to see something more spidery. Like maybe they bite and inject venom, and the more bites you get, the more damage they take, like significantly more. They have something like it in here. I don't know where it's from. It's here. It's on the belt. They deal more damage, and each spider bite takes 1% additional damage. They have that kind of concept in here, but I really don't feel it. 1% increased damage for 5 seconds doesn't feel like a bunch of spider bites with poison coursing through your veins. And, you know, the spiders, when they bite you, they can, you know, cause necrosis and paralyze you and all this stuff. What about some of that stuff? Maybe monsters that are bitten, you know, have these terrible, I don't know, affixes against them. Maybe it causes them confusion. Maybe they start attacking each other. And it's like a mind control, spider bite, crazy build or something. These are some of the ideas that I'm thinking about. I need more sustain. I need it to be a little bit less clunky. I would like it to feel more like I am the commander of the spiders rather than, you know, like a worker that has to plant spiders every single place that I go, and their damage is kind of underwhelming, and then they just die. That's how I felt playing this. A lot of people in chat said that they agreed with me, but that's a small subset. What do you guys think? Did you play it? If you played it, what did you think? If you didn't play it, seeing it, what do you think? I think for the most part, I've got the full build. I got the Mask of Jerem. I got all the multipliers. I have the full set. I have the legendary gem. I have the seasonal powers in here. So, yeah, interesting to see what you guys think. Anyway, for the finale, let me take you into the clear. I'll show you the audio that we had, going through and finishing off the 150 clear. It was a lot of fun. Watch North War take advantage of this seasonal theme. We have 3 supports. I'm supporting on a monk, Rob is supporting on a barb, and Woody is supporting on a DH. We're deliberately getting one monster to 1 health, bringing them to an elite and killing them, and bam, several just blow up the whole room. It's not guaranteed to work, so sometimes we had to do it 5 or 6 times. And killing a little spider on 150 at our Paragon level, we just started these characters at level 1 a few hours ago, can be difficult. But North War did a great job. Everyone did a great job supporting, and we got it done. So anyway, that's my initial day 1 feedback. I'll be playing it a little bit more, but in general, I think I've seen a lot of the things that are coming out. I am excited for the seasonal theme. I think Blizzard did a great job. The Marauder set is looking pretty good. I'd like to see some attention given to the Witch Doctor. I would love to see some changes come to this build. Let's go into the clear, and that'll be it, guys. After that, I'll see you in the next video. We'll have build guides for everything, tier lists, leveling guides. You already know what's coming. Thank you. We go again. Blue Fallen, this should actually be a good mob type because it's valuable and not insanely dense, right? If we can find something to kill, this should be pretty damn good. This should be really good. Now, Rob, don't get too excited. I don't want to see any mega stomps around here. Where is North War? Okay, North War is on the right side. I'm going on North War on the right. The yellow's like 1. He's Jug as well. Woody, remember the 2-man that we did with not trying to use the seasonal stacks, where we had the seasonal buff take him to 11%? You had 5 minutes to do 1% damage and we failed. God, man, 150 Rift Guardians, dude. Okay. The yellow's still alive. Do we have anything low? Okay. I'm gonna stay with North War to keep him alive. Can you flip these down, Rob? Can you flip it down to the yellow? Yeah, I'm saying, what if you flipped it down, Rob, 1 room on top of the jug? Would that work? The pack is gone. The pack is gone. We have to go. He's popped. The Aki is on the jug himself. Well, I guess there's multiple Akis. Boom. I feel like maybe it does. I think maybe it does have some kind of. Maybe it does have some kind of damage cap. I got it. Yeah, I still have it up. I'm just running. We're just running around. There's a ton of extremely weak monsters. Gotta work. North War was slain. Right here on my flag. I'm gonna stick with North War down here. Ads anyway, we're good. Yeah, we all just need to stand on the low bat so he teleports on top of us. Boom. Touchdown! Got him.